Hello everybody, Simracing here to review the inaugural DKC Sim League event. This occurred right after the rental league race that happened in March. This video is a bit late. Qualifying was supposed to occur for between 5 and the end of the rental league race. Unfortunately, I don't have any footage of that because I messed up how I recorded it, so I only have my pre-final race and the final race to share some footage of. I will say this about qualifying: I had picked the Mercedes GT, and I didn't like that car as much, so for the pre-final race I ended up switching to the Porsche 911, which I did a lot better in, so might keep running that car in future league races. Now you might see I have the racing line turned on for this pre-final race. I accidentally had left it on. There is a button to turn it off, and as I finish the first lap I do manage to find the button and turn it off. I don't particularly like that the racing line that gets shown. I find that it makes you brake a bit earlier than you should, so I like to have it off. Not too much happened this race after the first lap. I ended up finishing 4th. While you wait for your pre-final race, you can watch the current pre-final race on the screens in the Simlounge. I really like that touch. Now for the feature race, I guess it's time to talk about sort of the big elephant in the room when it came to the inaugural Simlounge League event. There was a pretty low participation rate considering it occurred on a rental league night. So you have about 100 racers from both the lights and the heavies showing up for league night, and you would think there'd be a good chunk of crossover between the rental league racers and the sim racers. When I ended up talking to other rental league racers, I was under a perception there'd be a lot more participation. That didn't end up happening. There are a couple reasons I think that might have been the case. One, I think people just didn't know when they could try to squeeze in a qualifying run. They didn't want to being middle of qualifying and then all of a sudden the rental league race is up. So they got either to be out there doing qualifying or the race out on the track. So that could have been a reason why people didn't show up in bigger numbers. I didn't end up making it to the final race, so I did my qualifying run during the heavies final. There are a couple of times where, just depending on how you're doing during the rental league, that I would suggest doing your qualifying run. So say if you make it into a pre-final race, go ahead and do the qualifying run during last chance qualifying. If you're in last chance quali, hey, go ahead and do it during pre-final. And if you're really procrastinating it, but you made the finals race, try to get in some lap or two during the other weight class's final race. Now the other reason I think there was a low participation rate was just that it was just another thing to do after a long night. So the rental league was officially over around 10ish, a little past that, and despite the fact that we only had 13 participants in the Simlounge League, we only ended up leaving past 12:30. So the longer you stay out at night, the less things that are open to eat. Even for myself, after doing any karting at DKC, I'll go head over to Buc-ee's and grab a bite. And even at Buc-ee's, there were some slim pickings. Just a good couple of meals had already been just already sold out. It's like a turkey sandwich, and yeah. So I am hoping with the kitchen that I keep seeing getting developed, that when that comes out, that might intrigue more people into staying later to help grow the Sim League, because unfortunately we couldn't do it to the format that was stated on the website. So for those unfamiliar, how it was supposed to go was you'd have all of these people trying to qualify, and then you take the top 40, and then from each of those top 40 you get 4 pre-final races. The top 2 from each of them, they all get a spot, and after that the last 2 are just determined by best times, or however else they were going to determine those last 2 spots to have the final race. Instead, since we had just a low participation rate, everyone qualified, and the real big thing was how you did on the pre-final race determined whether you would be on the motion rig or you would be on the, I guess you'd say the kid-sized rig. Luckily, I was able to qualify for the motion rig, and I kind of do hope that they just bump the amount of people to qualify to 14, since that's what I believe that they can support. I believe there's 14 total sim rigs with the motions and the kid rigs included. That'd be pretty nice. Some additional thoughts on the Sim League. For one, I would like to see different categories of cars be used for different rounds. Early on, when the Simlounge was coming out and letting people race in there was a bit of a focus on formula style cars, so it would be nice to see those for some rounds. If they have rally, that'd be great too, but at the moment the focus does seem to be on the GT3 side. I do wish there were more GT3 cars available, specifically the Chevy C8 GT3 car, but that's mostly just because I love the Corvette. For those who do want to practice, I would recommend just taking a look at the leaderboard like a week in advance and just seeing what track people have been running. So for round 2, it does seem like it's going to be Red Bull Ring. I haven't seen a confirmation yet, but that's where I was seeing all the GT3s at, so that's what I currently think the track's going to be. So that'll be interesting when that time comes. Back to the feature race, I did end up getting lapped by the leader, so unfortunately I did not get to finish on the lead lap. I guess on the bright spot, other people who did not finish on the lead lap, I finished first among those guys at least, but it's not too shocking that I did poorly considering how many times I went off track, because at Laguna Seca you just end up getting stuck in the sand. Not too much happened after I got lapped other than encounters with traffic that I was lapping myself. I do end up finishing in 6th place, which isn't too bad for the inaugural Sim Racing League. I hope for the next round I see more of you all out there, but considering the weather today, that may not be the case. Who knows, might get postponed, but we'll see. Anyway, happy racing to everybody. Later.